Do I just learn that there's a new trailer for the new Lord of the Rings show that's coming out in a few months? The new trailer just showed up just a few days ago. So, and I haven't watched any of my other video, the people that I watch on YouTube, their reactions to it, because I have a very strong connection with Lord of the Rings, and I just wanted to do another reaction. Like, this is so unlike me. I rarely do anything on this channel, so I just decided to look it up, just see what my thoughts on this new trailer are going to be, because all the stuff I'm hearing about it just sounds bad. So I've got the thing up right here. Here's the new trailer, and boy, this does not look like it's going down very well. Look at that ratio. I love it that love it that they can't even stop us from bringing back the dislikes. They tried hiding that with that stupid new rule YouTube put in, but they can't stop us. So anyway, no, wrong button. I'm gonna go into this, see what I see here.
There was a time when the world was so young. There had not yet been a sunrise. But even then, there was light.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect. Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
You have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all.
The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
Yeah, as you can tell by me not saying anything, it doesn't really leave much of an impression. Like, all these trailers for all these shows just seem so vague, and I mean, on the basis, if I was just some random shill or anything, I'd probably be all over this. I'd be oh so cool, but I don't know, it just leaves me with nothing. It's kind of like pretty much everything right now. New Marvel movies, new Star Wars. It just feels so empty. I know that when I'm gonna upload this, I'm gonna be copyright claimed, but whatever. I'm gonna put my voice out there. Just let's mute that. Like, just looking at all this. First off, let's go back through all this. Yeah, just I feel like this is just so confused of a show. I feel like this should be trying to capture what Peter Jackson did with both Lord of the Rings and even the Hobbit trilogy. Say what you will about those, but at least they looked thematically inconsistent. This just looks like... It just doesn't even seem like anything. Like, it just feel like they're cobbling together so much about the universe that Tolkien so meticulously crafted, and it just doesn't feel like anything. I mean, they're basing this off of the appendices from the Lord of the Rings, and they only have a very small fraction of stuff to do, but even just like looking at this visually, I'd want this to have some sort of connection with Peter Jackson's, because that was the definitive live action representation of Tolkien's work. Like, just all this stuff, it doesn't even seem thematically connected at all. Like, looks like it's trying to, but I mean, I know, like, I think this guy's supposed to be Elrond. I know they can't get Hugo Weaving back, but can't they at least make him look somewhat like Hugo Weaving? Like, some of these shots, like, this looks nice, but I don't know, this just, from what I hear, they're just, from what I've known, from what's going on with the show, it's going to be set in the Second Age long before the events of the Lord of the Rings take place, but, like, if you ever read any of the appendices or any of Tolkien's other works that were published after his death with Silmarillion and the history of Middle-earth, like, there's just so much depth, and, like, it takes place over the course of thousands of years, but apparently, from what I hear, this show is going to take place over the course of, like, a couple years. Like, what is this supposed to be? I don't even know what this is supposed to represent. Also, like, something like this, like, is this supposed to be taking place long before even the show is? Because these are the two trees. If you know anything about the Lord of the Rings, which I don't know very much about, the first time I read the Silmarillion was about a year ago, and I need to read it again to get, but even I know stuff like this. These are the two trees that gave, like, light to the world, and, like, those were destroyed thousands of years before this is supposed to be taking place. Why are they showing up here? If you ask me, there is so much that Tolkien made for these shows. Like, no, his lore is just so exquisite and just so incredible, and I feel like there could be something that could be really awesome if somebody really creative took over the reins of, like, what Peter Jackson did for the Lord of the Rings trilogy and did so well, and just make something so cool, like all the tales from the First Age. Like, there's so much that could be worked with, but apparently they don't have, Amazon doesn't have the rights to those, so yeah, I just don't, it's funny, I don't know what to make of, like, when I watch this, I just don't feel anything. Like, I don't feel excitement, I don't feel anger like the 60,000 dislikes on this video already have, but it just leaves me with nothing, which is weird. I'm making this video because, unlike other stuff, I never made any reactions to stuff like, say, like new 2016 Ghostbusters, the Star Wars movies, the new Marvel stuff. Like, most of the stuff I just really don't care about, like, which is weird because I love Star Wars. Most of the other stuff I don't really care about, Doctor Who, Star Trek. But I really love Star Wars, but I just kind of tuned it out even back before The Last Jedi came out. But I have very strong connections with Lord of the Rings, so I guess this might be something that will really impact me a lot, very negatively. But yeah, it's just leaving me with really nothing. I just don't feel anything because I know the mindset of the people making these stuff. Like, just look at some of the way that, like, I brought up the image for Empire Magazine covering this show. Like, look at this image. Like, this is supposed to be Galadriel. Like, does this look like Galadriel, the one you know from The Lord of the Rings, the Cate Blanchett? No, this does not. This is not, like, even I can tell that. That is a way too oversized blade handle. Not even that, but not only does that look, are they trying to make her something that she's not, like this overpowered, like, Xena warrior princess style character? But no, look, Face Off 2. Like, who needs that? But anyway, going back to the point, like, just look at this thing right down here. A quote said by the actress who's playing her, Morfydd Clark, I think that's her name, it says, "Don't expect the same Galadriel." I mean, she's just an actress. She's just probably saying what her agents are trying to tell her to say, but still, don't expect the same Galadriel. Sure, this is supposed to take place thousands of years before Lord of the Rings, but she's still thousands of years old. I expect her to still be the same that she was, like, Cate Blanchett portrayed in the Peter Jackson movies. Like, just don't expect the same Galadriel. That just tells you everything you need to know. And I know this is just, like, one thing picked out of a boatload of other articles, but if any of you have seen the way the media and the people who make these shows and have been betraying very strong fans of Star Wars, Marvel, Star Trek, and all this stuff, how they're accusing us of being misogynist and racist, like, how they're calling us all these bad stuff without any sort of context, like, it's just, It's just insulting, really freaking insulting. Because you know that that's the same mindset. They've been doing that ever since... I mean, seriously, look at this. This is Lord of the Rings. Those movies were so impactful, and yet no one's buying this. Look at this ratio. I'm pretty sure it might be even worse now, but come on, look at that. 22,000 likes to 68,000 dislikes. Not even any of the worst Star Wars movies that have come out in the last few years have gotten that kind of a bad ratio. And they've just been attacking us nonstop ever since the first teaser came out during the Super Bowl earlier this year, and yeah, you know the mindset that's going into this. But the weird thing is I'm very curious. I just kind of want to see this whole train wreck unfold, because everything I've heard, just how they're handling this show, this is probably going to be a massive train wreck. And I just kind of want to see it unfold. I mean, here's also another thing. This show is coming out on September 22nd. You know what also happened on September 22nd? J.R.R. Tolkien. Look at that. September 22nd, 1973 was the day that Tolkien died. Quite symbolic, don't you think? But yeah, I kind of want to watch this train wreck unfold. I don't think I'm ever going to get that emotionally, like, that angry towards it, because even with something like The Last Jedi, I just pretty much wrote it off. I didn't really care much about it because Star Wars then was really not impressing me. Like, nothing that Disney was doing was just making me fall in love with the series again. But even that, just... Why are we just letting all these big corporations take care of all our entertainment properties? Netflix, Disney, Amazon, all these massive billion-dollar corporations are just squandering the potential that these series have. And you know, I'm just glad that many of us are starting to make our own things. Like, I'm making my own thing. I have a document of this little thing up here, which I'm not showing anyone. Probably shouldn't have had that pop-up light right there, but I'm working on my own thing. I'm trying to make my own type of Star Wars type story. And many of you follow the YouTuber Young Ripa. He just released his own line of superhero comics, and it made over like $2 billion in like 3 days, which is just incredible. And I want to do some stuff like that too. We should just vote with our wallets and stop making these people get all this money which they don't deserve. And just start making our own stuff. I know not everyone's creatively driven, but I still want to try myself. So, anyway, I'm kind of curious to see how this show is going to play out, but if it's going to be terrible, I'm probably going to have fun watching it. I'm not going to be paying for it, but I'm just going to see what it's like. But that's all my thoughts, so, well, I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if this is going to get anyone's attention. It's probably going to get copyright claimed again, because YouTube is really stupid like that. But we'll see how this goes. Anyway, take care.